Hey friends, happy Sunday. So hey guys, I'm just gonna jump right in because I have a sleeping baby who will wake up at any minute. I just know it. She'll know that I'm doing this video. I just know she will. So my name's Adrian Larsson and I'm one of your Diamond hosts for this group. And I'm just gonna answer some common questions about IF. Is it just for weight loss? Are there any other health benefits? What even is it? How do I do it? And then I'm going to talk about modifications at the very end, so you definitely want to stay on and listen for those. I do want to start by saying I'm not a doctor. I'm just a mama. I'm kind of a healthy, crunchy mama, and I love to dig in and research things for myself. So I would really encourage you, if you have lots of other questions, to deep dive for yourself. A lot of this is fairly easy access just by doing a quick Google search. And then some of it I have just done, like listen to podcasts and other doctors and health gurus and all that good stuff. So I'll post some links below just with some more information. But, always with your own health, make sure you're doing some research for yourself just to make sure what you're doing and what is being talked about is good for you. So, all right, let's dive right in. So, first off, I want to just answer the super common question, what is IF? What is IF? Is intermittent fasting. I wanted to make sure I said IF because a lot of people would be like, what? IF is just intermittent fasting. It's just an easy way to say it, easy way to write it. Basically what IF, intermittent fasting is it's an eating pattern that cycles between periods of fasting and eating. Okay, so basically this is what we do all the time anyway, right? So when we're sleeping, we're fasting, and when we wake up, we break our fast, right? We have breakfast. This is just taking it like one step further, and just making that fasting window, stretching it out a little bit more, okay? More than a normal, typical American diet, right? And we're going to talk about why. Why do we do that? Why? What's the point? But first, how do you do IF? Well, you just decide when you're going to be eating and when you're going to be fasting. Typically what this looks like is 16 hours fasting, and 8 hours feasting or eating, okay? But it can look different for everybody. If that sounds super duper intimidating, and again, we're going to talk about modifications like for breastfeeding, and I don't recommend it at all while you're pregnant, but definitely for breastfeeding, and for just some other things. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But basically how you do it is you just eat and then you don't eat. And then you decide how you want to do that, okay? But yeah, there are lots of ways. And some people even do it like every other day or every 2 days of fasting, like extended periods of fasting. So there's really not just one way. Hey guys, thanks for jumping on. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them after, or I'll just, comment with answers after the video ends. So is IF just for weight loss? The answer to that is no, it is not just for weight loss. I think a lot of people think that and assume that because you're fasting, you're not eating. So obviously you're going to lose weight. But if you're someone who doesn't need to lose weight, you're not restricting your calories, your amount of food that you're taking in. You're just restricting when you're taking it in, right? So if you're somebody who wants to maintain, who doesn't want to lose weight, who wants to maintain, then you're still consuming 3 meals and a snack, or whatever you're typically doing. You're just doing it within a shorter window. Does that make sense? And then if you are someone who wants to lose weight, we know that calories do matter when you want to lose weight. So if you're taking a calorie deficit, you're probably going to lose a little bit of weight. So if you're somebody who wants to lose weight, you still need to make sure that you're getting enough calories to live, to survive, right? But you can restrict some of that, and it makes it a little bit easier because you're keeping your window like this, and whatever you decide to eat in that window is all you're eating, and then you're not eating anything until you start back up again the next day, or whatever. So, but no, it is not just for weight loss. There's actually so many incredible health benefits, like on a cellular level. I get so super nerdy about this because it is so cool. So I'm just going to read through, I have my notes here. I'm just going to read through. Again, this is super easy to find just on Google. I'm not a doctor. This isn't anything special. I'm just going to read through some of the other than like weight loss health benefits. So I told my kids to stay away, but it doesn't sound like they are. We'll see how that works. So when you are in a fasted state, when your body is in a fasted state, you go through something that is called autophagy, and that's just a really fancy word for your body's cellular repair process. Okay, it's kind of like your body's own detox, and so we know that like when we're sleeping, our bodies are detoxing, right? But this is an extended fast because we're sleeping, we're fasted. This is extending our fast, and it's the process called autophagy. It's basically your cells are eating themselves to repair themselves. This is so crazy, but I love it. So that can help weight loss if that's something that you need, but it can have so many other like implications for your health, inflammation. I'm getting ahead of myself because it's just so cool. But anyway, that's one of the coolest things about this, I think, is that whole cellular repair process. Your cells digest and remove old and dysfunctional proteins that build up inside the cells. Okay, I should just stick to my script and just read it so I don't get too crazy. When you fast, there's your human growth hormone levels go up. So if you are someone who wants some fat loss and some muscle gain, that's super important for you. If you're somebody who, loves to work out, goes to the gym, and you think, well, I can't do intermittent fasting, I'll lose too much muscle. But it's actually studied to be the reverse. Especially when you do a fasted workout, you know that your fat, you burn fat cells quicker. And anyway, yeah, so that human growth hormone is really helpful for fat loss and muscle gain. Your insulin sensitivity improves and levels of insulin drop dramatically. So what that does is that makes your stored body fat more accessible. So you can use up that stored body fat, okay? Your cells also change. This one was crazy to me. I hadn't really heard this before, but your body's cells also change the expression of genes and initiate important cellular repair process called autophagy. So that goes into what we talked about with the autophagy. But this one, it has been studied to improve longevity. It has anti-aging, what is the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now, you guys. Anti-aging process, whatever. Helps with the anti-aging. And it may also help protect your body against diseases, which I thought was super, super cool. Okay, because we're removing that inflammation. That's what that's doing, right? We know that, inflammation is at the root of a lot of illnesses. So super cool. So here are some of the main health benefits of IF. Obviously, weight loss, if that's what you're looking for. Improving inflammation in your body. It's good for heart health, cancer, brain health, and anti-aging. And these aren't me saying this. This is a study that I looked at, and they listed all of these things that it it has been studied to help improve, okay? So now let's talk about modifications, because I think this is super important. Maybe I should have put it at the very beginning, but what are some modifications that you can do if you are breastfeeding, like me? I'm breastfeeding my 8-month-old. She is just now eating some table food. So she's still pretty much 100% reliant on mama milk. So can we do this? Can we practice intermittent fasting? The answer is yes. But how I'm going to be doing it, this is going to be my modification. There's a modification. It's kind of its own class of, you know, fasting diets, but it's called circadian synced fasting. And basically what it is just you're following kind of nature's process of what it looks like is you're eating when it's daylight and you're fasting when it's dark. I know that seems like super simple, but it's just another way of just delaying that feeding window, but not delaying it so long. It's not 16 hours. It's not, you know, 18 or 20 hours, because I just can't do that and still produce enough milk, even if I'm eating enough in my, you know, in my window, 5 meals and 3 snacks. Let's be real, because breastfeeding is, you know, it's super important to keep your, you know, your calories and your protein up to continue to produce milk. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I've also heard somebody call it like, basically like eating when you're like a grandparent. Okay. So like eating, you know, maybe start breakfast at 9 or 10, but then not eating past 5 or 6, like having your supper as, you know, like an early supper. But I really like the daylight hours thing. That's just easy for me to remember. You can just look outside and see it's dark and not eat. There's also some, if you are struggling with, if you're struggling with infertility, if you're struggling with major, you know, thyroid or diabetics, this is something you really, really want to research for yourself, because I don't think any of us here want to be responsible for saying, you know, yes, absolutely, fast for 18 hours and it's going to help you. What I have read specifically about, you know, some like infertility and, you know, even if you're just trying to get pregnant, it's really not recommended that you fast for extended periods of time. So that would be something to look into if that is you. But basically just widen your eating window. If you need to, you know, if you have major thyroid issues, a lot of women just in general, because we're so sensitive to hormone imbalance, a lot of us really need to ease into fasting. So that's something to consider, is just doing kind of on and off for a few days to a week, and just see kind of how you're feeling. If you continue to feel like really tired and just really off, then maybe adjust. And another thing for women to look for is if your period doesn't come when it's supposed to, or doesn't come at all. Like that's, you know, obviously a hormone, you know, driven thing. And so we need to just make sure that our bodies are in sync like they're supposed to. And sometimes fasting can limit that from happening. Okay. So this is nothing to scare you. I just want to make sure these are on your radar, just as we go into this, to just be something for you guys to look for. So yeah, I think that is what I have. I'm going to swipe over just to see if there were any questions, because I usually get too rabbit brained to stay on topic if I look at stuff coming in. So anyway, okay guys, I'm so excited about this. I think it's going to be incredible. The most important thing is just to like keep in contact with everybody in this group. I know when the challenge hits that we're all going to be like posting what we're doing, how we're eating. You know, it's just going to be super fun and interactive. So make sure you are make sure you are, you know, interacting so we can help each other if we come to a place where we need that. So, okay, thanks guys for watching. I know this was kind of long, but I'm super excited and can't wait to see everyone's results.